Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Media Truner, and welcome back to Stellaris MegaCorp, where the end of the war in heaven has left the galaxy in an interesting shape. By which I mean it's all looking very much my colour, which is lovely, but a bit too much of it is my colour actually. Because, yeah, technology costs are like 3 times higher than they should be, which is not good. That's very, very bad indeed. And even though I don't normally care about leader costs, like 1,000% up, that's quite a lot. That is genuinely quite a lot. So we need to get rid of some of this useless trash territory we don't actually need. So thankfully, we did make a start on that last time, and hang on, if I just go over to diplomatic map mode right here, yeah, you can see in green, there's a whole bunch of territory dotted around the map we need to find a new home for. Sadly, it's quite difficult to do quickly, because, yeah, you've got to only give away territory that borders someone you're wanting to give it away to. Naturally, I want to give it away to my own vassals ahead of anyone else first, so, yeah, the Empire of Love there, the Nutri Republic, all of that business. They can all have territory. That's all absolutely lovely. I will, of course, make exceptions for the tenants of Tabby, who have, rather noteworthily, decided to actually, yeah, elect an owl as their current leader. So, well done, tenants of Tabby. I think that means you get free territory. And honestly, me and the Shazarak get on flipping great. I love the Shazarak, and they absolutely adore me too. So they can have some territory as well. Okay, let time tick along for a second, just because, yeah, until people accept the offer of all the territory I've given them, I can't give them any more. Hang on, everyone has to actually accept their, the offers. Here we go. All of that should be coming in. And the game is... Oh, the game doesn't like it. The game doesn't like me trying to hand out free territory. Now, the big question is, how much do I actually want to keep here for myself? Because, yeah, here we go, Doria. This would actually be quite useful for me to keep. This used to be the capital of the xenophobe Fallen Empire, which, because it refused to surrender, has simply had to be destroyed. This place has a gateway. So, in other words, it has a direct link back to Asprania. So that is a useful thing for me to do. Because now I've got a gateway in Asprania. I have a gateway in Asprania, right? Yes, I have a gateway in Asprania. So now I can teleport from Asprania to any gateway I possess. Which would be over to, yeah, this point over here. So I'd have basically, yeah, decent levels of control over this part of the galaxy if I needed to get over there in a hurry. Plus, of course, I've got the gateway built up in the L cluster. So any L gates are also wide open to me. Which is spot on as well, because, yeah, they're just all over the shop, especially in the south of the galaxy. I think the Romans have got one over there, which is fine. Now, I'm about to make what is almost certainly not the most efficient decision in the world, but I'm just sort of curious what's going to happen, which is the Zelvan arbitrators have managed to survive mostly untouched, with the war in heaven pretty much wrapped up at this point. The xenophobes are dead, they've survived, the war against the League of Non-Aligned Systems is over. So they're actually in okay shape, aside from the fact that I've taken the Preserve and all their capital worlds off them. So here's my plan. I want to give it back to them, and I know that means giving up worlds with really good technology on them, but honestly, I don't want Brother and Mother and Cradle and the Preserve. I'm more interested in whether these guys can actually rebuild. If they declare war on me again, then that's fine. I can just beat them again. But I am just genuinely curious whether, yeah, those guys might be able to do more with those worlds than I can. Because once upon a time, the Zelvan arbitrators, while in possession of all of these worlds that I'm about to give back to them, they floated a fleet of 600,000. If they are somehow able, probably because of the game cheating and giving them money, to rebuild that, they are going to be making more out of those systems than I ever could. When the endgame crisis does show up and the game is rolling that dice, it is 25-50 right now. Every single year, the game is rolling dice in the background. The apocalypse is flipping coming. If there's a chance that the Zelvan arbitrators could actually be useful in that war, I would rather take it. Because the worlds are producing... You know what? Let's actually just check here. Let's quickly get up the system thingy. Here we go. So it's making a surplus of about 900 energy, 200 odd minerals, 134 alloys, 300 food. I don't need this. Now that I'm actually giving away all this extra territory so I'm not massively over starbase capacity, the economy is looking like it's in good shape. In fact, actually, at plus 7,000, it's probably time for me to stop panic selling. Because, yeah, at this exact moment in time, I'm selling 300 alloys a month for whatever I can actually get for them, which has completely crashed the market and led to, yeah, that's only worth 900. So cancel that. I'd rather keep the alloys. And that food, that's barely making me anything. Stop that as well. Honestly, I don't know what else I'm going to do with it. I'm already at cap. I guess I could just, like, boost everything. So get rid of that and... Wait, what did I just cancel? Did I just cancel something I wasn't meaning to cancel? I think I might have done. I'm not sure what it was. Yeah, I'm selling 400 consumer goods, and that's barely making me 500-600 energy, so we can cancel that as well. Yeah, I should just buy all the materials I'm buying, and... hang on, what's the price here? Okay, even at that price of like 19, I think that's still better than me producing my own, so I'm happy to just keep buying huge amounts of rare crystals. I think the reason I need so many of them is they're what power the fortresses, if I recall correctly. So yeah, my fleet cap is very much dependent on the raw crystals. So yes, the Zelvins hate me right now, but I'm kind of hoping we might be able to get them towards neutral as time goes by. So all I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm going to offer to transfer you some stuff. Right, let's see what we can actually give to you here. Hopefully it's a fair amount. So yeah, Akramalo, up north over there. Flipping lovely. Eriness, where's Eriness? She can have Eriness too. Here's the big one though. I am perfectly willing to hand over Hithram to them. I am perfectly willing to hand over Hithram. And that's their old capital world. That's where all the valuable stuff is. So they are welcome to it. They can have it. There you flipping go. So I'm going to start returning all of that to them. Oh, and would you believe the Zelvins were the fastest to agree to the terms? They were most definitely keen on, yeah, being handed literally everything. Gotcha. Which will hopefully cheer them up in no time. They can also have the preserve back, which is admittedly not a preserve anymore. We did kind of briefly reorganize it into, yeah, standard MegaCorp world. So now everyone has jobs, which is much better than just being a giant zoo, I think. Fascinatingly, the Zelvins do not want Sao. In fact, they're going to refuse to take it, which is very interesting because I've not got anyone else to give it to. Hang on. Who lives on Sao? Because if need be, I can just make them independent, I suppose. Right, one tiny world, Rossel, which is currently being held by... Ah, this must be former Farine territory. Yeah, Farine rulers, some Farine who had sex with snails, a bunch of mighty duck specialists, all of that good stuff. And I tell you what, actually, this world is doing alright. It's actually making a profit in terms of energy, minerals, food, everything. Alright, fine. If these guys don't want it, then as far as I'm concerned, I suppose these guys can just be free. Have fun. Here we go. The tasty Farine Republic shall now exist. Lovely. Just give them a second to start existing. They've picked a lovely star. They're peaceful traders. Absolutely spot on. So those guys now work for me. I mean, you really could have had this, Zelvins, but apparently you just don't care. Ah, yes, and one other thing I should be taking care of as well. So right now, Eden Prime is generating, yeah, 340 trade value, which is not being collected. So, we should probably sort that out, because the reason it's not being collected is this isn't even actually a starbase, there's nothing to collect it. But even if I was collecting it, getting it back home would be very, very tricky indeed. So, I should probably slap down a gateway. Because a gateway in this part of the world would be useful anyway. Then I've got, yeah, the ability to instantly warp over to here, warp down over to here, warp over to here. There's L-gates galore in this part of space. Obviously, we've got terminal egress up here. And then we have got ourselves, yeah, Rixicars more over here. That is an L-gate right there as well, which is spot on. So yeah, having actually a gateway to just teleport the trade from Eden Prime back home, that would be very useful. Because then we can just bypass all piracy. Here we go, one new mega structure, cheap as flipping chips. So we'll have the actual construction ship come over here, take care of that. It'll take him a while to get there. In fact, he's gonna, oh blimey, that's a convoluted route, but the galaxy is getting very connected at this point, so I'm gonna assume that's a good way for him to go. So the great giveaway is almost done, but I've realised we've got a bit of a new problem I wasn't expecting. Because I've given away all of these star bases, I'm now 3 under starbase capacity, And 2, over fleet capacity, because so many of those star bases had just a handful of anchorages on them. That's okay. I need to shore up the economy anyway, because I feel like the fundamentals of the economy are not as strong as I thought they once were. So, plan for that. We probably want to actually expand a bit further out here into old L-Gate space, because there were a bunch of decent worlds in that direction. And yeah, my core space is actually pretty much full up. I'm actually, I believe, out of systems to upgrade. Yeah, in the center of the Empire over here, everything is upgraded. There is a bit more up here, which is fine, and tragically I can't really give that away to a new vassal, just because, yeah, there's no planet to get set up. I suppose I could just kind of hand it over to my vassals over there, but no, it's fine. Everything's fine. We'll keep that little bit of space, sure. I mean, I quite like the fact I'm playing so tall. I've got a very, very tiny core empire, and I like that. That's fun. But yeah, if I'm remembering right, it was up here, wasn't it, at this weird half-chopped-off sector. There was just one planet here, and it was rather nice. Yes, fine, we're going to go colonize that. Good little generator world right there. Part of the problem we've actually got here is, yeah, ingenious is not the most common trait in the galaxy, so you guys might do half Ganvious people. 2 world habitability, but you'll be fine on an ocean world. We've taken a bunch of habitability techs. What else do we know about you? Repugnant, but amenities isn't a problem. Unity up, sociology up, rapid breeders, ingenious, agrarian. Yeah, go on then, you'll do. So this is, yeah, Euthonian Ganvious hybrid. Sure, that'll do. So, that's underway, and that shall be new prosperity. Lovely. Now, the other thing I wouldn't mind getting down at some point is, yeah, a Dyson Sphere. That would be interesting. So for that, I need a world that's not got any mining stations, because apparently the problem with megastructures is a single mining station or research station or whatever, and yeah, the game throws a total hissy fit. So I need to find a very empty area where it doesn't really matter if I have to take down the mining station. So ideally, the lowest yield system in the entire empire would be perfect. Here we go. We've got Naos right at the end of our space here. A single research platform, yeah, just around the sun, representing 3 physics. So how about, rather than generating 3 physics, this star generated up to 1,000 energy? Because that I could deal with. Aha, and my scientists have figured out, yeah, tracking down what the wormhole in Doria, the old centre of the xenophobes, where it actually goes. And it's over here into the Great Tree Republic. So not particularly of interest, to be honest, but nice to know it's there. Now, am I done with the Great Giveaway at this point, where the galaxy's actually looking like how it should do? So we've got the new Tile Republic here, pretty much having, I think, almost all the same space the tiles used to have, so they've been restored. The Great Tree Republic here has maybe slightly expanded. The Empire of Love just loves everyone so much, they just want to border everybody, so I gave them this lovely, lovely little appendage right at the bottom of their empire to make sure they could just border as many people as possible. New Rayab Limited, meanwhile, I'm just actually giving them a little bit more territory. I think I want to give them... Oh, hello. Did you just... No, never mind. Sorry, I thought you just expanded a little bit. But no, you haven't. Right. In which case, yeah, I'll just keep giving them the last little bit of territory over here. This over here is Doria, which is where Foundation is. And no, not Foundation. That's totally different. The Core and Boundary. I'm just going to call this place the Core so I don't get confused. Right, let's actually have a little look, see what's going on here. So, naturally, this place is already very, very well developed. Urban world, but not an actual city planet. A single farming territory, together with 25 city districts. So, no jobs, but huge amounts of housing. Interesting. So I might want to actually, but then again, I was about to say, well, we could tear down the cities to actually create districts, but that would be totally pointless because, yeah, the cities produce 2 jobs too. There'd just be a loss of housing, but no gain anywhere else. Right, what we can do is... yeah, the amenities here are too high. So we can take down at least one of their affluence chambers and replace that with some actual flipping jobs. Oh, wait, hang on. No, I'm getting confused here. Affluence centres don't create amenities, they create consumer goods. Well, we definitely don't flipping need those then. Fine, just take all of them down. So your affluence centre is being replaced by office jobs and whatever. Congratulations. So yeah, right now the only amenities on this planet are being produced by, presumably, that's just all of the clerks. So, fine, they can just continue doing that, I suppose. They've also got nourishment centres producing 100 food each, which is A very, very good amount, it must be said. But we're doing very well on food. We don't need all of that. So I'm going to take some of that down and replace it with, yeah, a Galactic stock exchange. Because trade up by 20% is very valuable. And over on Boundary, we'll do pretty much the same thing. So that's absolutely fine. That is ooh. Oh dear, a corporate culture site was apparently trashed. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. And, we can't rebuild it because there's not enough people there to actually sort that out. Fine. I'll just demolish that for now, just so you know it's not messy. We'll change that later. And once again, one of these can just be replaced with some actual commercial zones. But then again, how much actual... this is a smaller planet, so the amount of trade here is not going to be so great. It's probably better to take the 5 jobs than the Galactic Stock Exchange. I'll maybe revisit that down the line. And I think we're done with the great giveaway there. The Zelvans hopefully will actually recover over time. Admittedly, they do have a Death Star, and they're using it, like, quite a lot. In fact, they are, yeah, using their Death Star on many, many other planets, but I'm sure that's all 100% fine. Oh dear. Yes, maybe they are slightly the bad guys, but maybe one day they'll end up using it on an endgame crisis and everything will be lovely. Also, who's attacking the tenants of Tabby? That's just... oh, that's just some pirates. Hopefully, the tenants of Tabby will rebuild and recover soon. I've given them a whole bunch of territory. They should be fine. Also, just a little sense check here. So, I have got at the core of the Empire, Ospra, and then Prosperity as a double shipyard with multiple actual little shipyards on it, yeah. Then we have got Doria right there, which also has 3 shipyards, which, go on then, I will allow that to stand, that's fine. But I don't think we really need that many gun batteries. I'm happy to swap out some of this for anchorages. That will be fine, because I do need some extra fleet capacity. Having given everything away, I'm down to, 26 starbase capacity. So I can still have a little bit more than what I've already got. And some platforms that were once militarized can probably be actually, stood down a little bit. So, the Rontus outpost, we can just keep, just like a little bit of protection there. But for the most part, I'd say we want to start moving that over to an anchorage footing, yes. And some stations I've simply forgotten to actually fully kit out. So we can just get all of them going as well. Together with some extra resource silos, everything will be lovely. And here's something I need to look at too. Yeah, it's just time to get the economy back onto a stable footing here. So right now I'm making a massive surplus of consumer goods. And of those, like 1,000 of those are coming from trade. So, what are we best off doing here? Because the thing is, Unity's coming in so flipping fast right now, I don't think I can actually spend the Unity on Unity ambitions productively. I've already got plenty of them on. So I might just be better off going over to straight wealth creation. Because, right now, the price of consumer goods has crashed so flipping hard. Actually, has it? Because, right now... wait, that policy is worth... what does consumer good have to be worth for me to actually just sell them anyway, no matter what the cost is? 0.5 energy, 0.25 consumer goods. Got it. So I'm losing 0.5 energy for every 0.25 consumer goods because I could be getting 1 under wealth creation. Fine. So, as long as they're selling for... hang on, what are they actually selling for? Because I'm guessing the price is going to be very low right now. Okay, so for the time being, I may as well just leave that on, but sell a massive surplus, for now at least. I mean, the price will crash pretty bloody quickly, but... honestly, as long as I'm actually making over 2, that should be okay. And I guess I may as well just sell the food, to be honest. Keep the price of it low. It'll help out everyone else in the galaxy. So we'll just actually sell those just to actually clear out the surplus there. And then, once we actually hit next month, we'll see what that does. Because that should actually be worth a decent amount of energy. Not a terrible amount, anyway. There we go. Up to plus 8,000. Very, very nice indeed. So, state of the galaxy right now. I'm in green, all of my direct vassals are in yellow, and the Giant Federation, the League of Non-Aligned Systems, is in purple. And here's the thing, I'm actually losing 20% of my total fleet capacity purely because I'm in that Federation. Do I need to be in that Federation? Because leaving will be a pretty big hit, but... I'm not sure that really matters, to be perfectly honest. You see, the Shazarak already flipping adore me. They love me. So even if I take a big hit with them, it doesn't really matter. And even if they were to all turn on me, it wouldn't be a big deal. To be honest, I feel like me and my vassals could handle it, so I may as well take the fleet capacity, because I'm just feeling like I'm not a Federation sort of person. Alright, it's me and my vassals. Me and my vassals together. That Federation can go and do its own thing. I've built them a Federation fleet. They can keep it with my blessing. Alright? When the time comes, I think I'm better off with the extra 20% fleet capacity that belongs to me. Because I'm pretty sure an extra 20% fleet capacity is going to be worth more than the actual Federation fleet cap is. Unless, of course, those two things are actually the same as each other. Yeah, that Federation fleet is currently 500 out of 500. So that's maxed out right there. But an extra 20% for me right here. Okay, that would actually be worth less than 500. But the thing is, the fleet already exists at this point. So now that the fleet exists, if I just leave that with the Federation, the amount of ships in the galaxy will go up. If I leave, give them the fleet, and then start building more fleets of my own. I think, anyway. The point is, I just kind of want these guys to go and do their own thing. Because I just feel like I'm not a Federation player, alright? It was nice that we all worked together to deal with the Zelvans, but ideally, I'd like to be friends with the Zelvans. And while I'm part of the League of Non-Aligned Systems, they're not going to go for it. So, the galaxy's a bit ugly in its current form. To be perfectly honest, I think we need to sort that out. So, Shazarak, it's been great. And I love you guys, but I'm leaving this Federation because I want to go do my own thing with my own giant fleet cap. So, there we go. The other members will not be pleased, and the galaxy goes a little bit on the green side. By the way, I know I could have tried to, like, kick some people out of the Federation before going, but one, almost no one was willing to vote for it. These guys all seem to be getting on with each other at this point, so that's absolutely fine. I didn't really need to do that. And two, I'm actually kind of glad the rest of the galaxy is now united, with the exception of the Earth Custodian ship, who don't actually own Earth. Screw those guys. So yeah, right now there's 3 power blocks. Me controlling a very decent amount of territory. I managed to grab a whole bunch of land out of the War in Heaven. I'm probably controlling... Am I controlling over half the galaxy? Maybe just under half the galaxy by volume, but it's very, very close indeed. Then maybe a third of the galaxy belonging to the actual League of Non-Aligned Systems. Zelvan's probably more powerful than they look, especially now I've given them their capital worlds back, and the Earth just chilling out being a dick over there. Together with just a handful of small rebels that will probably be dealt with over time. Good, 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 good. And that means I've now got fleet capacity, and why have I just suddenly gone down like that? I don't know. Right, maybe I'm selling too many consumer goods. Hang on. This isn't really a problem, to be honest. Selling too many consumer goods means we can just sell less. We should be absolutely a-okay. I would like to have a few more minerals coming in, though. That will probably be fine. And, the Farine Authority is slowly being pulled in, too. Yeah, I'm not too surprised, actually. That probably makes sense, yes. And then, yep, all of these guys, all of that good stuff, and... Sorry, the League of Non-Aligned Powers does not only cooperate with its members. We'd like to offer... You want to... Okay! I guess I'm happy to be an associate. Why not? Now, some of these guys are less happy with me than others. Like, the Yonderim are not thrilled, but honestly, they're going to be fine in time. Give it a few years, they'll slowly come around. Plenty of these guys still love me, by the way. The Tenets of Tabby are still really thrilled with me. Infinite Pond are totally cool with me as well. I think the Romans might be a bit less. No, actually, the Romans are actually fine with me too. I think they just broke off a migration treaty or something, but for the most part, hang on, let's actually go over to diplomatic map mode here. Yeah, actually, everyone is... Oh, why does the diplomatic map mode break the flipping frame rate? That's weird, but okay. So yeah, these guys, associate status, that's all absolutely fine. So I think that means... Hang on, does that effectively mean I've also got like a non-aggression pact? Yeah. And yeah, opinion map mode is, yeah, making the frame rate go nuts. Fine, let's stay out of that one. Here we go. The Shazarak are just fine with me. And as time goes by, it'll get better and better and better. There's a bit of border friction, sure, but... Yeah, actually, over time... Oh, hang on. Yeah, the Allies going down, as is favourable trade deal. Broke Federation's going up, but it's going up slower. So they might end up being not so happy with us at a point, but not enough to go to war, I imagine. Here we go, that should be even more money actually, because the core over here was not actually fitted into the trade network properly. So now, we've just basically told them, hey, just travel directly through that gateway right there. That'll be absolutely fine. That's more super weapon firing going on. Guys, please stop. Stop just actually using the super weapon on everybody. It's a bit of a dick move. Yeah, it looks like the Zelvans want to actually just entirely eat the Birnathi, so not sure they're going to be around for too much longer. Also, as it turns out, I've crashed the price of consumer goods in basically no time whatsoever. That has already completely flipping collapsed, so I guess we just stop selling it, really, or I just basically, yeah, take away the minimum price. Screw it, sell it for whatever you can get for it, it's fine. Though, why is that actually minus 623? Why would that be so low? I'm not buying it, so okay, keep an eye on that next month. We might just want to cancel the trade. I'm not sure what's going on with the maths there. That's rather weird. Meanwhile, my first bunch of upgrades should be actually coming in momentarily, which will be very, very good stuff. There we go. So, my fleet capacity is starting to go up here. It's probably time for us to just get a new fleet of construction. We probably don't have the actual alloys for it yet, but we're gaining them pretty fast. It'll happen in no time at all. Let's just take another general purpose plasma fleet here. So, yeah, that'll be fine there. This brand new fleet here. Begin reinforcing. Just, yeah, take what we can actually get there. That'll take a little bit of time to actually come together. So, that's fine. That will actually slowly start filling up this fleet capacity over time. Nice to be over 2,000. And yeah, I believe we've got plenty more fleet capacity coming in too. That is... Now, that's New Prosperity Station. Get it right. Now, the big thing that worries me a little bit is sometimes when you actually make new subsidiaries, they're not very good at building fleets. Now, I did very, very carefully make sure I maintained huge numbers of star bases, so when I handed this space back to them, it would have good quality star bases with shipyards attached. So, they should have the capability to actually, yeah, build their own ships. But I didn't specifically check the economies were in good shape. I just moved into the world, didn't devastate them, and tried to recreate the old empires as well as I could. So I'm hoping that means everything's fine. Let's just check in at random. Let's say the Empire of Love. What are you guys doing right now? Capital World showing signs of, yeah, 50% stability, 27% crime. Not great, to be honest, but not entirely collapsing immediately. Slight lack of consumer goods, to be honest, but I tell you what, buy them on the open market. I am making those so cheap right now. You know, I've got to give the Birnathi credit for ballsiness. They are actually counterattacking directly into the heart of the Empire of an Awakened Ascendancy, and they're not even doing that badly. This isn't actually their core system, of course. This is just a little side area they took off the Farine. But still, they are launching counterattacks. Well flipping done. And they're actually going to bring that platform down. So, alright then. Marvellous. Is there anything here, or have you just... No, they've just basically restored that to the Farine. So yeah, the Birnathi are just engaged in hit-and-run tactics. Keep an eye on trade here, which should now be in good shape. Yeah, the trade network is now in excellent shape because more and more of it is now being carried by Gateway from the core and from Boundary, which is beautiful. Soon, the trade from Eden Prime will be doing the same thing. In fact, actually, Eden Prime, what was going on with that third world? Because you actually have a different world inside your system here. It's not very good, to be honest. We can leave that one be. Okay, this is good to see. So, the new Rayab Limited Empire are building fleets. They are most definitely building something. It is 2 corvettes so far, which is not a huge amount, but they are actually doing it, which means they're being a lot more successful than many of the other previous vassals I have created. So, I would like to be building these fleets a little bit faster, because I've still got 200 fleet capacity I'm doing nothing with, and I'm at full energy. So, as I actually broke the market for alloys... Oh, it's recovered. It's recovered very nicely. Well, screw it. I'm just going to buy some more anyway. I'm getting plus 8,000 right now. We may as well hurry this up a bit. This is our full fleet right now, by the way. right now just hanging out over Asprania, probably blotting out the flipping... I was about to say the sun, but no, we don't have one of those anymore. The worm ate it, and now we worship the worm's mighty, mighty black hole. Yes, sorry, I forgot about that for a second. And tragically, it would appear that the very tasty elves are no more. All of their worlds have been consumed by the Zelvans, but... bear in mind, technically that's not really the case. What's actually gone on here is these guys have just sent giant super weapons everywhere, and the tasty elves are now locked away inside wrapping to keep them fresh, if you will. They will be tasty forevermore. It's just, yeah, because no one can even scan through this thing. Hang on, no, I want to look at Shirish. There we go. Impenetrable energy barrier, blocks all scans of the surface. So, yeah. The Farina's still out there, it's just no one can ever talk to them again, or eat them. But then again, if they did have a reputation for being tasty, probably this works out for them. They're probably happy with this state of affairs. And here we go, Gateway construction site has been prepared, so we can start actually shipping some of these lovely goods back home. So, oh yeah, only 2,500. I couldn't remember how much that cost, but not that much. Because yes, unfortunately, right now, Eden Prime has to send all of its goods through, oh yeah, through Zikmok territory, and there's a lot of piracy going to be causing problems for that. 30% of it is going missing, so once we can start shipping it home through the gateway, that will be much better. We should also get my strategic coordination center completed. That is 15,000 alloys. Okay, I'll probably just like buy some to... oh, blimey, those are really expensive. That market has recovered very, very well indeed. And, hang on, what do you mean prices? Should I even set a price? No, remove the price. Remove the price, it's fine. Just take whatever you can get. Yeah, in all fairness, in just 6 months we'll be able to afford that. So let's just speed up time while that's happening. This fleet is not the priority. The priority should be getting this thing completed. Because that's an extra 5% speed to my entire fleet, which is invaluable. And also, I believe another... what's that worth? I think that's worth like another 2-star bases. That's actually a fair bit of fleet capacity too. Wait, how long have I been selling 2 times 750 consumer goods? That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be at all. There we go, that's better. That's probably what was causing some confusion. Although, oh, did I cancel the... was I supposed to have cancelled the exotic gases? Wait, hang on. I may have made some mistakes with the market here. There we go. That's a lot more reasonable right there. Good, 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 good. Also, here we go. Strategic Coordination Center. Gonna take another 10 years to just kind of put some, like, things sticking off the side of it, but I'm sure it'll be worth it. And I think New Prosperity is down on the ground. Marvellous. So, obviously the first thing we want to do is, 1, give it a governor. Do we have any spares right now, or do we need somebody... no, I think we need somebody new. Alright, ideally, someone who's going to be good at the old energy production. So, that's science up, that is... ooh, army. Okay. Defense, army damage up, army build speed 20% up, army cost down 20%. You could do a good job potentially over on the Beast, where our armies do actually come from. What's the Spade one? No, that's Agrarian. Fine, we can do without that. May as well take the science, I suppose. A Roman is never a bad bet. And now, of course, we need to go resettling literally everybody who's unemployed, and there are a lot of unemployed people, over to New Prosperity. Because even if there's mass unemployment just for a minute, it kind of doesn't actually matter, because, you know what, that's just basically Unity, and there will totally be jobs there sooner or later. So, I'm just going to empty pretty much the entirety of all the unemployed population of the entire Empire over to here. There we go. That's causing some level of low stability. Okay, I may have said slightly too many people over. Ah, yes, of course. Unemployment may not cause a problem, but overcrowding will. Yes, I see the issue, sure. Let's also just have, yeah, bonus growth, luxury goods. We'll add some more features added to the planet. Spot on. Now, admittedly, my plan to basically give the Zelvans hugely valuable territory so that they could rebuild has not exactly been working out great so far. They seem to be floating a fleet of only about 20,000, which is, I suppose, better than many of the vassals I've created over here. So, it's probably still a good thing, and it also means they won't be able to pick on the massive Federation, because the Federation presumably still has that Federation fleet somewhere, so wherever that is, if the Zelvins actually ever cause trouble, that fleet can just move in and murder all of them. And, hang on, whoa, what? What have I just done? The Exiles return. Oh, yes, hang on. There was a little world. It's not actually inside my space. It's inside Antares. Yeah, I decided to lower the energy barrier around this world, so apparently it's a barren world. Nothing interesting going on there. But as soon as we have done that, someone has immediately decided to whisper an ancient Queptilium freedom. Good, 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 good. That is most definitely not a problem. And I think they possibly just murdered... No, we managed to get away. Where are you guys going, by the way? Oh, you're probably going to go and attack that station. Right. Who wants to go and help out with this? They look like energy-based creatures to me, so I'm going to deploy rapid response murder in that direction. They've just actually been upgraded over in terminal egress, so... they should be moving out very, very fast indeed. They basically just, yeah, head straight to the gateway. From the gateway, oh, I love my gateway next to my L gate. That's just flipping lovely. So they will just warp straight over to the far side of the galaxy there. There's actually, yeah, another gateway right here in Crash. They decided to go there rather than the core for some reason. And now they can just get straight over to those things. Oh, wow, just look at them go. This is marvellous. In fact, they might be able to intercept them before these things can... Oh, yeah, these things are feeble. These things have got nothing. So, you guys just get over there. And these guys also have shield penetration. Woobly, woobly, whoop. Right, so the ancient Queptilian menace was not actually that menacing, to be honest. It turned out to be fine. And actually, the Shazaraks seem to like me more these days, so this is good news. This is very, very good news indeed. Probably because I decided to become, yeah, Federation associated. So even though I'm not part of the Federation, I still want to stay friends with them. This is fine. And it looks to me like the Zelvins want to just entirely consume the Birnathi, which is a real shame, but there's not much I can do about it. Honestly, the Birnathi are not going to help when the endgame crisis shows up. But it is possible that the Zelvins could in some way. So... this is probably for the best. Also, if I do need somewhere to actually ship some unemployed people off to, I can't help but notice, I do believe we do actually have some spare capacity over on Eden Prime Prime, do we not? Yeah, Eden Prime Prime. There's flipping jobs to be done there. I think I might have just shipped them to the wrong world. I think I shipped them to Eden Prime rather than Eden Prime Prime. In many ways, this was not a good naming protocol. Here we go. Foundation has quite a major unemployment problem, so those people can be much more productively employed over there. Spot on. There we go, because sure, unemployment generates unity, which is fine, but if there are jobs available on other worlds, I may as well be sending them over there. And we have most definitely now got enough housing over in New Prosperity to, yeah, redeploy any unemployment around here. Between Eden Prime Prime and New Prosperity, we might finally be able to deal with this long-running problem of unemployment across the Empire. Also, here's fun. So there's actually been a tiny little breakaway state from the Valdari, the hierarchy of Pottle's Pantry, which is very cute until you realise that possibly means their king is called Pottle, and he deems this entire planet to be just a place where stuff that he wants to eat lives. So... bad quality minerals, free at last, because, yeah, they broke away, they're a rebel state. Luxuries have been distributed. Screw it. Let's have a branch office. We haven't had one of them down for some bloody time, but why not, eh? We'll see how we flippin' do. Let's start off nice and legit here. Syndicate Front Corporations. Get that built. Shouldn't take too long at all, and that'll just get us a tiny bit of unity. This place is worth nothing. It's got basically zero trade value. I kind of just want it to exist because I'm supposed to be a MegaCorp, so, you know, it would be nice if I actually had any form of branch office. But I'm going to be honest, criminal heritage is kind of bad, and it really needs to be quite seriously rebalanced just because it's way too easy for other empires to just kick off your branch officers. But what's a bigger issue is... if you're actually playing a vassal game, which, you know, Megacorps are incentivized to do because subsidiaries are quite good, and they do have the penalties for going over the admin cap more severe than anybody else, then as you create a vassal, it is also criminal heritage because it directly mirrors you. So in other words, neither of you can actually have branch officers on the other. Like, as a criminal heritage, wouldn't you ideally want to actually create a vassal that is not a MegaCorp so that you can plant your branch officers on those worlds? Otherwise, what's the point? Like, if you're a crime family, don't go and make more crime families all around you, because neither of you will be able to leech off the other. Yeah, here we go. So, I am a criminal mastermind who owns half the galaxy, all of them my willing thralls, and I can't have a basic little branch office down on the breakaway tiny little plant city of Pottle's Pantry because they built, what was it? Yeah, one single basic precinct house, so crime is now 0% because crime is so easy to just fix. You just build a police station and that's it. Crime is eliminated because that is totally how crime actually works. Oh, but here's the big one. Gateway construction will be done in just 10 days, and I assume the game will automatically figure out that's how it's supposed to be shipping trade now, and gateway has been constructed. Right, verify the state of the trade network right now, and there we go. Look at that. Look at all that trade flooding in from a little bit from over here. To be honest, yeah, we should actually just build one over here by Foundation. It's a bit of a waste, to be honest, but I guess it would actually mean, yeah, we can actually use these fleets for something productive, because right now we have got fleets worth, yeah, that's, what's that, 12,000, 19,000, yeah, 19,000 right there, another 18,000 right there. Yeah, 40,000 fleet power is tied up just with piracy suppression, and that's ridiculous. That should not be the case. And yeah, there it goes. It just gets shut down immediately. Branch officers, criminal heritage branch officers are just really garbage right now. Yeah, criminal heritage needs such a buff. It needs a huge, huge buff. At the bare minimum, something you can do to defend yourself, because a single police station just shuts you down. Anyway, we've got trade coming in from, well, a bit from Foundation, but to be honest, more trade is coming in from the Beast, and vast amounts from Devon, actually. Yeah, 400 odd from Devon, but way more from MacLeod, which has, how many flipping clerks here? 72 clerks! Right, I see the issue. But that's only 145 trade value. Where's the rest of it coming from? Pop jobs 273. Ah, of course, there'll be 10 million merchants and whatever floating around too. And then just boost from free traders, Xenophile, open markets, building, stability, all the flipping rest of it. Fine, that's big. That's a huge amount of trade being generated there. Fine. So, if we ship that over to Foundation, yeah, Foundation will be a fine place to actually get that started off with. That way, that can actually ship the trade from the Beast over to Ospra, and Devon over to Ospra. So it joins up at Foundation right there, and then we ship it straight on. A single fleet can then just handle the patrolling, and the other fleet can actually be deployed to more useful business when the apocalypse arrives. Yeah, the Zelvans have definitely got an interesting bug going on here, which is, you may notice they have built quite a few gateways. Like, a lot of gateways. Like, a ridiculously large number of gateways. Like, there's one, and there's one over there. There's another one. There's one over here, because obviously that's too far just to walk. And then there's one up here, and there. There's another one. They built one over here as well. And every single one of these is, what is it? 2,500 alloys for the base, then 15,000 for the actual thing. Maybe it's 5,000. It's several thousand alloys anyway. Money they should be spending on a fleet they don't currently have. But yes, I did see someone mention this at some point, so possibly this is a known bug right now with the AI. It really, really enjoys building gateways. Still, sooner or later, they'll run out of systems to build gateways into, then hopefully, if we're lucky, they'll build a fleet. And we've actually got a flipping war on here, and it is, it's the Shazarak. Not our Romans, don't worry, it's an independent, cunning Roman Republic. So, it's just a handful of little breakaways. Should be nothing. The Shazarak will be able to just walk straight through them. That's just a reunification going on there. Nothing major at all. No, never mind. The Zelvans are still building more gateways. They definitely feel like they do not have enough gateways as yet. I mean, if they build some down here, in this territory they've just conquered, that would be reasonable. Well, one would be. Two might be overdoing it a bit. So yeah, the Zelvans now own this tiny little exclave over here, another bit over here, and they've got their main area over here, and they are very much in the process of wrapping up too. They've sent their fleet and also 2 separate Death Stars because 1 wasn't enough over to just wrap up whatever's left. So, yeah, I feel like the Binathi aren't going to be around too much longer. They're about to join their friends, the Farine, in being permanently shielded forever. Oh, and there it goes. The Binathi are done. They have been entirely consumed. The Zelvins have taken over all the space that had planets on it, though it doesn't have planets anymore. I suppose it kind of has planets, but we're not quite sure what's going on down there, so may or may not be doing okay. The Ray are doing alright. They've got 4,000 strength. Empire of Love has about 2,000. Great Tree Republic has got... Hang on, yes, that is you. 3,000 odd. The new tiles, how are you guys getting on? You guys don't seem to have built a fleet at all. Well done. Good work there. And yeah, 2 bits of land have just ceased to belong to anybody. So it looks like the Emissarians are actually going to be the first to make it there. So they'll actually get all this stuff for free if they can actually lock down the system before the station explodes. And that's exactly what they're doing. So well done to the Emissarians. They're actually going to be able to reunify their empire because they had a tiny little exclave up here. But they should be able to bring that back over to us. These guys never liked us, by the way. They never really came round to us. How are you guys doing these days? Actually, you guys are doing alright these days. Brilliant. And better and flipping better, the Strategic Coordination Center has been completed. Flipping marvellous. So now we have got ourselves, good things. Very good things. Hang on, let's just get the full picture here. Oh, yeah, that's sexy. That's sexy right there, and that is worth... It doesn't actually say, but I believe it's worth extra fleet capacity, which is good, because I was just over capacity a second ago, but now we're back to where we should be, which is absolutely flipping marvellous, together with an extra 2 star bases and an extra 5% movement speed. So, this is all very, very good news. In fact, because you can only work on 1 mega structure at once, with that done, and gateways not counting, so foundation is fine, that means we can build something new. Now, could we actually... No, we cannot matter decompress the worm. That would definitely be heresy. What else do we have here? So, Interstellar Assembly, not really for me. Mega Art Installation, that's just for Unity, and... honestly, it's not even that much Unity. Unity is fine. I've actually already got on every single Unity ambition I could ever want. Don't need that. Minerals, I don't really need desperately, urgently either. So, probably, the best thing I could do would be the Science Nexus at this point, or the Sentry Array. So I'd have full visibility of the entire galaxy. But honestly, I've already got very, very good visibility. The economy looks like it's in good shape right now. I'm getting plus 10,000 energy a turn. I don't need ring worlds, to be honest. Yeah, let's get a science nexus going on here, which we could apparently build over here. Not around Asprania, just like on the planet next to Asprania. So, alright, I guess. After all, now we're in the late game, you can never have too much science, because... more science means more repeatable text, and right now we're just basically doing the repeatable text. That's why I've not really been talking about tech for a while. At this point, I've got all the tech I want, so I'm just basically doing repeated stuff for a little bit more minerals, a little bit more naval capacity, more energy weapon damage, just get that up and up and up. I think that caps at 10? I don't think that goes past 10, so we've done well here. We're almost fully through the tech tree. Oh no! Rethadol has died. That was the guy who came out of the Grand Matriarch Tiyanki's stomach. And sadly, he is now dead. So that is very sad and means we need to find some new people to take his place. I tell you what, you'll do. So you've got, yeah, combat disengagement up 10%, but down 33. But hull points up, ship weapon damage up, and fire rate up. Yeah, go on then, why not? So, question. Are the Zelvins still... Yes, they are still at war. Officially, the war in heaven is not over yet. Attacker war exhaustion is at 100%, meaning... I think that forces... Wait, do the AI have to do that? I can't remember if that means the AI is going to be forced into a white peace inside 2 years, which would very much work to Earth's advantage. So, maybe they'll be forced to surrender? I'm not sure. I've no idea right now where the Zelvins are. Logically, the only thing they've got to gun for at this point is the Earth Custodian ship, and there's no actual... Actually, there is. There's a wormhole there. I don't really know what that actually does, though. So, head over there and explore it. Let's just double check, make sure we know where that goes. Oh, and I think we got an answer, by the way. So, yeah, there's the Zelvan Arbitrators. They are most definitely coming, yes. They want to take over all of this space too. But Earth will thankfully survive, because Earth broke away from its own caretakers. And more good news for the trade network. Yes, here we go. Foundation, its gateway is ready to go. Actually, it's only 2,500. Sorry, I thought it was way more than that. So, not even that expensive, but it will take some time to complete. Oh no, this is interesting. So, Antares, the world that produced the actual ancient Queptilian ghosts, apparently it's still producing them. It just does that occasionally. Right, we probably shouldn't have actually caused trouble with that world. We should have just left it shielded. Oh well, no matter. I'll just leave a small force there for the time being to mop them up as they appear. And there we go. The zombie ghosts are forced to leave this place. Life is good. Oh, and the snails have done it. They were the ones to lock down that territory. Well done to them. Reunified snail territory. Giant pile of Zelvan space over here. And yeah, they are most definitely planning to wipe out the Earth custodianship. But the Earth is safe. Well, when I say the Earth is safe, I should probably just check in with the Earth. Because last time I looked in on it, it wasn't doing so hot. Yeah, so Earth is on fire. Earth has got some problems with drone corruption. Because there's... Okay, you're a corrupt drone. Because, yeah, the game's got a bit confused. Because this was a breakaway from, like, you know, a robot empire. So it's still technically got some of the trappings of a robot empire. Like, it doesn't have criminals. It has corrupt drones. In, like, the form of people. And also, there's a human habitat. So, I'm guessing anyone who was rich enough got off Earth when it caught fire, and they just went to go and live in space. I swear there was a movie where this exact thing happened. There was like a guy in an exosuit or something. I can't remember what it was called, though. Meanwhile, I'm pretty happy with how the core and boundary have turned out, because, yeah, we've just basically thrown down a huge number of commerce megaplexes and shipped off a large part of their former slave labour off to somewhere more productive to have actual paid jobs. So, yeah, that's looking okay. Massive surplus of housing, but doesn't really matter, to be honest. The population is decent. Unemployment's not too bad at all. Yeah, that's doing all right. And also, there's more Death Star going on. There's a lot more Death Star going on right now. Wait, did you just... You're allowed to shield a habitat? I had no idea that was a thing you could do. Okay, apparently that's a shielded habitat right there. I'm starting to feel a bit sorry for the robots of the Earth custodianship. So the thing about them is one of their worlds is called Bleep, which is adorable. But the whole thing about rogue servitors is they like to keep organics as bio trophies, keeping them in perfect comfort. So they've got all these menial drones doing maintenance and tech and all of that. And they've got some lovely drones up top doing heavy lifting and whatever. But they've got, oh, machine uprising. Interesting. New Rayab Limited's had a small machine uprising. We'll go and look at that in a second. But yeah, they've got literally no bio trophies. They've built the capacity for 80 pops of bio trophies, and they don't actually have a single one because all their bio trophies couldn't be bothered with them. Right, how bad is this Rayab situation, by the way? About 50,000 strong. I think we could deal with that immediately, to be honest. Yeah, you know what? I've actually got rapid response right there. Deploy rapid response. It should be able to mop up this mess for you, you stupid bastards. And in comes rapid response, doing its job, showing up nice and early, shooting down the stations, shooting down the fleet. I like your design. It's very, very nice indeed. But you are completely flipping screwed, actually. Yes, we'll be able to cut through this very easily. 20,000's not nothing. But we'll be able to hack our way through all of this in no time at all. Also, the Federation got a bit ahead of itself there. They immediately decided to offer Federation Associate status to the robot breakaway. And they accepted, which is fascinating. Part of the problem is they have access to a gateway. And now they've just made a whole big pile of friends. So now I don't know exactly where they are. But we'll just have to make do. Actually, Murder of Plasma's right there. May as well just send them to go and lock down all of this area too. Oh, they are... Yeah, they're actually taking territory. Right, how much do you have? You've got... Ooh, you've got 29,000. Oh, well done. the new Rayab Limited forces are actually doing really well. Okay, I've made at least one successful vassal this game. Right, another one of their fleets gets mopped up, and it looks like this station is not quite as strong as the one we already took on. We'll need to do some reinforcements, but I'm floating 34,000 alloys right now, which is fine. And last plasma is also coming to have a little bit of a shoot at anything stupid enough to go anywhere near them. So yeah, that is... that's one of the plasma. So sorry, murder of plasma. A general purpose plasma fleet of my own design. So they'll be able to handle anything, and they're just going to mop up whatever's left. I think they took some territory down here, but it's a bit late. It looks like the new Rayab forces are already making a move in too. They're trying to lock all of that down. This war is not going to take very long at all. No, it is not. And as soon as those shields go down, this is actually plasma, so this should actually fall over a lot faster. Yeah, just look at how much more powerful plasma is. It's ridiculous. This is why I'm kind of floating a mixed fleet of some plasma and some disruptors, because depending on what you're taking on, they are very, very different levels of effectiveness. Ooh, and this is a bit ugly. So all the organics that were living on this world, they've been amalgamated into the grid. So I'm guessing that means they've been matrixed. Yes, organic energy will be absorbed until they expire. So they are just generating energy for the robots. Bloody hell. Well, better go liberate them in that case, because these worlds are very much not guarded at all. So we should be able to just, yeah, go in via the core, lock all of this down. It shouldn't be a problem. And while we're taking care of this, the Zelvans are just shielding every world they're coming across. I don't think this war is going to end any way other than total victory for the Zelvans. So technically they've lost one war in heaven, but they will actually win the next. And there we go. These tiny little defense drones are completely ineffective versus my Gene Warriors. They don't stand a chance.
Aggressor colony emancipated.
And with this colony emancipated, as Tali points out, yes indeed, we have let them out of their terrible, terrible battery chambers. So that's lovely. And oh dear, the robots are now deemed to be undesirables and will be purged. So I guess that's reasonable. In all fairness, they did try and lock all the organics inside a giant battery, so I suppose it's to be expected. Ooh, and the science nexus site is ready to go. Oh yeah, get working on that. 15,000 flipping alloys, very well spent. Right, final invasion is underway here, and it's not going to go any better for them. Yeah, interesting thing about the robot uprisings, which is they spawn with some decent quality fleets, but yeah, the actual forces, garrison-wise, guarding the planets, not so good. And that is them taken care of. So, job done, nice and simple there. And yeah, actually, these guys, the actual new Rayab Limited, they've got a decent-sized fleet. So, well done to you guys. Also, let's get right up close and personal and see their super weapon in action. Because I can't deny, it's very pretty. It's all full of big, zappy lightning. It's very lovely. It's very, very lovely indeed. It reminds me of Metroid Prime style architecture. In fact, very, very nice. So, almost fully charged. And once it's charged, it actually does its job very, very fast indeed. And there goes the shield. I mean, look at that. That percentage goes up very fast. It's actually faster than the basic Death Star, I think. I swear, when I built my own Death Star during the Apocalypse run, it took longer to lock down a planet than this. But it might just be because I've got the game on triple speed right now. And there we go. The Foundation Gateway is now done. And that should mean trade is now... Hang on, what trade is that? Why is any trade going in that direction? Hang on, guys. Seriously, don't do that. Just go from Foundation directly. Well, you know what? We're no longer going via Efrov, which is fine. So let's just make sure everything's as it should be, because some of these trade patterns appear to be a little bit on the weird side. So Devon goes, yeah, via Hima to Foundation, and then just takes the thing. Beast does the same. Fact doesn't have anything, and that does too. Okay, that's all fine. In fact, 444% of its own trade is reaching Ospra, which feels a little bit on the odd side, so okay, whatever. So, second patrol murder has been asked to stand down and simply return to Ospra to join the main fleet, and the original patrol murder can now simply patrol between here and... No, I slightly misclicked there. Here and Phaeonus, there we go. So that should be it. So they now cover fact, and then these 3 areas, and that should be everything we need. We no longer need to patrol this area at all. Our trade should no longer be passing through the space of the Ganvius in the slightest. Apart from the trade of Avastum, which has decided it wants to. So no, I'm just going to send that to Hokrai, and then Hokrai passes its trade on to... There we go. That should now have sorted that. Yes! Oh, look at that. Look at flippin' trade just flying in through gateways from all over the galaxy. That's so sexy. That's so flipping sexy. Ospra with trade of 1,440 and a total trade collection of nearly 6,000. All of it arriving completely safe because it no longer has to pass through any pirate-infested space at all. It just goes through the gateway and just arrives straight away. Absolutely flipping beautiful. Pops out of the gateway, heads straight to Asprania, might, you know, wave hello to the worm as it's passing by, or our brand new science nexus that we're currently constructing, or the galactic market that's right there. You know what? People probably just say they're merchants when they're actually tourists, just because they want to come and see this thing, because it's so damn cool. Oh yeah. That's the stuff. That's beautiful. What's less beautiful is the fact that Earth is totally being squished right now, but there's not much we can really do about that. That's technically a war in heaven. Also, I've got 2 flippin' star bases I'm not even using right now. May as well have the ones that, yeah, people do actually pass through, at least a little bit of trade passes through, on the way from New Prosperity. Yeah, get them set up, why not? There we go, lovely. That gets me up to the 28 I need. In fact, my vassals are starting to do well here. So, New Rayub, about 30,000. Empire of Love, 20,000. Right there. The Great Tree Republic, there's 15,000. No, hang on, that's... No, that is the Great Tree Republic, sorry. And still nothing from the tiles. The tiles can't be bothered. Possibly I did something wrong with them. They seem to be a bit of a failed state. But some of these states I've set up over here, they're going to be tossing in combined over 50,000 strength, which is not bad at all. Not bad, because I think for the first time, yeah, right now my fleets are worth about 100,000 each. I think I might actually have just over 1,000,000 strength. Unfortunately, I think I actually set the crisis to be 75% stronger than usual, so there's no guarantee that's enough, especially when it's divided half and half between plasma and disruptors. So whatever does show up, I'll only really be able to field half of it at the beginning of the war. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I'd say that is enough for now, and the writing is on the wall for the Earth. This is indeed now a case of, and then there were 3. There is me, the Almeta Syndicates, and all my new friends, some of whom are starting to do very, very well indeed, I would say. I think they're doing very, very nicely. There are the Zelvans, who I'm hoping will be able to rebuild and contribute at least a little bit. Technically, of course, there are still the Spiritualists. They could wake up and become Guardians of the Galaxy, if need be. And, of course, the Grand Shazarak Federation that those guys are leading very effectively right now. I do like the Shazarak. Me and the Shazarak get on just fine. I just didn't feel like I was... Oh. We were getting on just fine. Then apparently we weren't anymore. Right, well, we're not at war with each other. And they're probably not going to be stupid enough to attack me. Or at least... Oh, I really hope they're not. Right. Anyway, right now it is 2575. Every year that passes, it becomes more and more likely the crisis is just around the corner. So, join me next time, ladies and gentlemen. The fleets are as ready as they are going to be. The gateways are set up. We have the firepower. We have the infrastructure. Now it's just a case of figuring out what's going to show up and crossing our fingers it's not going to be the bloody Unbidden this time. Come on, Gabe. Give me something else. Please give me something else. We will see if that comes up next time, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming up on the end here. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been many a true nut. This has been Stellaris MegaCorp. Thank you very much, and goodbye. This is the face of death, okay? This is what my sudden death looks like. Do not engage before we arrive. Do not engage. What are you doing? I specifically said don't. Oh, no.
No, John.
Oh, he likes that. The Romans touched me.